Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here, and we're going to do a market radar for you. A radar is basically an outlook for the upcoming week in the markets, and we're going to start off by saying last week the setup here going into this pullback. We were looking for a pullback going into this past week, and we actually got that pullback. Thursday we had some news that popped us back out of the pullback a little. You know, as you can see, we're actually forming what we call just a kind of a bullish flag here, and our rotation of stochastics were justifying that momentum here pushing down. So we took some shorts this week, and happy to say they're working out, and they continue to work out, and that is going to give us a reason to believe that this market is going to continue to move down a little bit further. Now we have again what appears to be a flag. But take a look at the big picture here. We have this big uptrending, channel. There's even a tighter little trend line, which was like kind of a wedge pattern. I made it purple here, which we broke down through, and then we came back and tested it. Now, if I go to the 60-minute time frame, you can see that the pullback that we identified came out of this wedge, and this is where we thought we could get a big move. And we kind of moved down, bounced around, chopped around this rising trend line, and finally broke down through it. And then we had a gap down and another gap, and then we actually reversed and popped, and we came back up to the original bottom wedge line, and then pulled back. I talked about this on the HPS watch list video that went out today. It's just that we have to always be careful of that rotation. That 60-minute time frame is so good on a downward trend. Same thing on the rotation on the 60 on the buy side on the upward trend. You want to be able to take advantage of every time the market pulls back in an uptrend. But this is kind of an established downtrend because we have a series of rotations, and the trend, as you can see here, is down by just putting a line on the lower highs and the lower lows. So we have this little downward channel, and we got a little break out of it, and we rotated back down, and now we're kind of in no man's land. We have a 14.3 down here that's actually pushing down a little bit further. And what I like about this is going back to the daily and seeing how this just kind of flattened out here. Even though we had a pop here, just flattened out. And when we see this, it's very easy to get a attempted breakout of a flag and then a failure and a rollover. And that's how head and shoulders form usually. You have a channel breakout and a rollover. It puts in that right shoulder. They already had a left shoulder and a little shallow head here. I'm not calling that at all, but it has some bearish tendencies that are starting to show up. So I'm going to be looking for that. We're going to continue to hold our shorts into this. I will tell you, other than we have a great watch list for the members of Day Trading Radio. I'll show you the ones. I should show you some of these right now. I should show you. Hold on a second. All right, I'm very happy about the success of the HPS watch list. The HPS watch list is our watch list for members of Day Trading Radio. And it is where all the research is done, all the automation of the charts and stuff go in there. And basically, we have a methodology that we specialize or actually, work with our indicators to develop a trading methodology. And this trading methodology, not to make, to go into it too much, has been developed over, probably over 12 years now. I've been trading for 22 years, but I've really started to, after the first 10 years of really learning and experimenting and just understanding what trading's about, then you start to realize that, hey, there is a method. There is a way of actually increasing the odds of trading. And after all that time, you start to put the two and two together. You start working with things that always work or work most of the time. You start throwing away stuff that is random, and you start to put things together. So now, with a very strict criteria of indicators and things that have to happen, we developed the HPS watch list, and that is perfect setups for you. So we try to get in these. I put them out for the members. I'm not showing any of the active. I'm not showing you any of the new ones today. They're further up on the list, but these are from last week, and I want to show you exactly, how well these have been working, because, even when they work on this type of stock, it also, this technique and this style of trading works great. Just trading futures and just anything. It's basically anything you want to trade, you can do that. Now we're looking at basically just an example of what goes out when it gets set up you get your buy zone, your stop set in your profit zone, and it has already hit its profit zone. This is supposed to be over here, but we'll fix that. Alright, so when you get that all set up, this is how it comes to you in the video, and then as the day goes by, or the days go by following the release, and these come out every Friday, then these things are tracked. And as you can see, this one moved right into our into our profit zone, and we took profits on it. So that's how we set these up. Each one has its own individual chart, and it all comes out on the HPS watch list, which is right here. And as you can see, there's a I removed the other one so you can actually so Smucker's here was a good one. All these are all basically the same technique. That divergence technique, the patterns, recognizable patterns, understanding just a few indicators, not too many, just about three good indicators, and understanding a couple candlesticks, and that's all you need, because that's what works. A combination of all this. How can we just constantly continue to put these out? You see it right there. These are all automated. I put these out a week before as the week is approaching. So we put them out today, Friday or Saturday, for Monday through next Friday. And these are all set up for you, and they get to move. We want these things to move within a 5-day period, and a big move. And that's what the divergence is going to give you. That's what our HPS methodology is going to give you. It's going to give you that setup. When it hits the criteria, it doesn't mean that every day there's going to be, the same ones heading up. That's why we're constantly always looking for these, and this is what the watch list represents. The wedge pattern here, and it's not that difficult. It just understand that patience and discipline. Understand that not everything works, but things work better than other things, and when you start to concentrate on that, you could adapt or use any analogy to make yourself understand more. It's like waiting for your pitch. It's about betting on the best hand. This setup here that happens over and over again, and we're able to identify, is the one we want to be in, and that's what goes on the HPS watch list. So be sure to get you want to get that. Get to Day Trading Radio. Try out the trial, and come on over. If you want to learn how to trade this way, check out School of Stock. I have a couple good courses there. That's theschoolofstock.com that teach how to trade this way. Very reasonable too. Sienna is one that's active right now. So we'll talk about that. And I want to give you one. I want to give you a best bet for this week. I'm going to do that. I want to do that for you right now. All right. For this week at Day Trading Radio, we have about 4 best bets. I'm going to give you one of those. This is one that let me. Liberty Global, LBTYA. If you're not familiar with the symbol here, I'll bring it down so you can see it a little bit better. This is the setup here, and when I do my research, I explain on the video that went out with this, the reasoning behind this, what type of pattern this is, why does the stock retrace back down to the trend line. What did the stochastics mean at the same time? What are the candles and how everything acting together to predict a big explosive move? So this is all broken down for you on the video, and as and that's basically the setup that just went out today. So we're looking at this. I actually just bought some Thursday, and it's starting to move back up. But I have a buy trigger on this, believe it or not. If you go, you don't have it, but on the HPS video, the buy triggers, I think around, it's just a little bit higher than this entry. I think it's 30.40, and that means I would probably add to that, and I'm actually look to take it off at 31.25 to 32. And the stop is already set there. So everything is already automated for you, and you get the alerts, and you get the you get the text alerts, instantaneous. The video that goes along with it. So not to bother you anymore on that. That is one of our best bets of the week. Liberty Global, LBTYA. And I'm just going to run through. These are the HPSs over the last couple weeks here. So you can see some of that. All of them are based off that divergence setup. So just remember that is Alaska Airlines. Actually, we've taken this one many times. The first time we took it, you could see we actually had a little diversion and it pushed right into our buy zone and actually came back and pushed through it. Now it's down here, and we have another setup on it. If you refer back to the HPS watch list, if you do get that, there is a setup on that, And we just continue. Again, Harley Davidson, we've traded that many times. You can see multiple times. Sometimes you'll see the patterns that set up multiple time and time again. All we have to do is wait for them. And when we wait for them, we set the alerts. You get the alerts when they're set up, and then everything gets automated for you. But you have to place the trades yourself, though. And then that's one. And then Philip Morris, which is actually kind of looking at that one very soon again here. You can see the nice channel line. There was a little setup back here. We had that nice bounce, very similar to what just happened in a stock last week. And I'm going to have to write that note down and talk about that come Monday, because it's a great thing. All right, so that's it. Until Monday, hope you enjoy this market radar, and I'll see you in the markets, daytradingradio.com. I'm DayTraderRockStar, signing off.